Hello everybody, I hope you all are doing good. Welcome back to my channel after so long. Today we are going to be discussing about the lesions affecting different portions of your spinal cord that you can be potentially asked on your exams. So this is the transverse section of spinal cord. This is a really basic diagram of spinal cord that I'll try to draw to just make you understand. So this is the transverse section of your spinal cord, and this is the anterior of the spinal cord, and this is the posterior of the spinal cord. So in the middle you have this butterfly-shaped gray matter. This is because this is anterior, so this is ventral horn of your spinal cord, and these are your dorsal horns of spinal cord. Around the gray matter you have all the white matter, and there are all the tracts of spinal cord, all the tracts that control your sensory system, your motor information, and all the other stuff. So we'll be starting with the dorsal horn of spinal cord. I'd like to bring my pen here so that we can understand it together. Okay. So this is the dorsal horn, right? Now dorsal horn contains the cell bodies of the sensory system. Okay, you have a dorsal root ganglion here, and in this ganglion there is the cell body of first order neuron. It synapses over the second order neuron present in your dorsal horn of spinal cord. Now this neuron right here crosses over and forms the anterior and lateral spinal thalamic tract. Okay, so your dorsal horn has all the neurons that contain your sensory information, that carry your sensory information from the periphery of your body and then take it to your thalamus and your primary sensory cortex. Okay, located in your parietal lobe. So this is about the dorsal horn. Now the ventral horn contains all the neurons that are actually containing the motor information from your motor cortex. Okay, and they form the lateral corticospinal tract, anterior corticospinal tract. So this is about the anterior horn, ventral horn of spinal cord. Now here you have dorsal column medial lemniscus system that actually carries information about vibration, proprioception. Here you have corticospinal tracts, you have anterior spinal thalamic tract, lateral spinal thalamic tract. So these are the potential basic areas where the diseases can occur, and you will be asked for it. This is the dorsal horn, this is the ventral horn. So let's just go on to the diseases. So if you have the isolated involvement of anterior horns. Now anterior horns, contain the motor fibers, right? If you have the isolated involvement of anterior horn, the particular disease responsible is poliomyelitis or spinal muscular atrophy. Now in this disease the patient will have signs of lower motor neuron lesion, which are decreased tone, there will be fasciculations, there will be decreased reflexes and all of that stuff. So this is number one. Now if you have patchy involvement of the white matter of spinal cord, now see only white matter has been involved, so there is patchy involvement of your white matter of spinal cord. The spinal cord is the part of the central nervous system, and if there is involvement of white matter of central nervous system, specifically in asymmetric pattern, that's multiple sclerosis. If you have the involvement of your dorsal column medial lemniscus system, the system that was containing the sensory information about vibration and proprioception. The patient will have decreased vibratory senses and proprioception, and this happens in Davies dorsalis, that's the tertiary neurosyphilis. And then if you have the involvement of dorsal column medial lemniscus system, and with that you have involvement of lateral corticospinal tract, they both combined together are subacute combined degeneration. Now this is caused by vitamin B12 deficiency. When vitamin B12 is deficient in the body, your myelin sheath is affected. Okay, so with all of the signs of spinal cord lesions, the patient will also have megaloblastic anemia. The patient, like you'll be given in vignette that the patient has megaloblastic anemia, the patient has like pancytopenia, and the patient might also have like what else can the patient have, like really glossy tongue the patient can have. And what are the causes of vitamin B12 deficiency? It could be like any like peptic ulcer disease, and the patient underwent gastrectomy. That could be the reason. The patient acquired infestation with Diphlebothrium. There is a fish tapeworm. With that tapeworm, it causes the vitamin B12 deficiency. So you will be given other things as well that indicate there is a vitamin B12 deficiency. Okay, and if someone's like vegetarian, they can also have vitamin B12 deficiency. And there is one more that I'd like to share here. It's this one. If you have the involvement of your anterior white commissure, now I told you that the dorsal horn contains the sensory neurons, and they are actually the neurons which will make your spinal thalamic tract, and spinal thalamic tract carries pain and temperature. Now if the patient like this neuron will now cross over and come to the other side. Same goes with this one. It will cross over like this. If this bundle where the neurons are crossing over is affected, it is actually anterior white commissure. The patient will have the loss of temperature and pain sensations bilaterally. Now most of the time it affects the cervical area of the spinal cord. So the patient most of the time presents with that there is bilateral loss of pain and temperature sensation in the fingertips and the hands, and the upper extremity actually. And if this syringomyelia is actually the cavity is formed in the anterior white commissure, and if this cavity enlarges, it's gonna affect what? It's gonna affect the anterior horn, the ventral horns of spinal cord, and now they are obviously motor neurons. Now the patient will have the upper motor neuron signs as well. So that's it. I hope this is clear. If you have any kind of question, kindly write them down in the comment section below. Have a great day ahead.